A piece of advice that I hear a lot is just start writing. Just 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 start. I hear it a lot in writer circles. I hear it a lot in programs where gurus are helping people write books. Just start writing. But there is something to that. Yes, once you're ready to start writing, please do just start writing. Don't put it off. But if you start with the writing without the strategy of who you're writing to and what you're going to say to them and all those good things, you're going to end up writing a lot of stuff you're going to just trash later and have to rewrite all over again. Now, this week, I am focusing on who. Who are you writing to? On Monday, I gave you a 5-point framework on how to identify your who. And today, I'm going to be talking about how to avoid writing for everyone and shifting to writing to the right people. I know a lot of people tend to go broad when they write their book. The problem with that is that you attract a lot of people that just they aren't interested in what you have to offer and they aren't served by the book. And the people who would be attracted to your offer are also not served by your book because you're going too broad. So you need to be very clear on who are you writing this book for? And people who are not in that who will probably read the book, but the people who are supposed to read the book will get something out of it, which means you get something out of publishing it. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help executive coaches, business leaders, and consultants write, publish, and market client attracting books so that they can grow their business. And I use AI tools to help make the sloggy bits less sluggy. And I gamify it so that people are pulled through my programs because they want to get that next badge and they end up publishing their book. Now, if you're watching this video on YouTube, you could do me a solid by liking this video, subscribing my channel, and ringing the bell if you can find it. I've never found it because that helps the YouTube algorithm push this content out into that little sidebar, which might be over here, so that more people find it. That would be really helpful. If you do that, I would love it. And if you do it, let me know because YouTube doesn't always let me know. Anyway, let's get back to the program. 5 reasons why everyone is not your who and what to do instead. And although I am moving kind of like an AI avatar, I'm not. All right. So the first thing you need to know is that when you write for everyone, your content is forgettable. When your book tries to touch all the bases, reach everyone, it lands with no one. Specificity equals memorability. So you've got 2 books that are, well, let's say they're both about underwater basket weaving, but one is written for a pro audience. These are the people who are entering contests about underwater basket weaving, and they are fine tuning their underwater basket weaving prowess. Book number 2 is written for the hobbyist, the person who just likes to get underwater and weave baskets on a lark. They probably do it in their backyard swimming pool. Those are 2 different books, and they serve 2 different audiences. If the pro were to read the hobbyist book, they go, man, this stuff is just, I know all this. I don't want this. And if the hobbyist was to read the pro one, they're like, this is way over my head. Who you're writing for determines what you write, how you write, and what content you include. So that's why it's kind of important to know that right at the get-go. Number 2, your message gains power in precision. Your audience doesn't need broader, it needs clearer. And when you name their exact pain, they feel seen. So again, going back to our underwater basket weavers, the hobbyist isn't trying to get into contests. They just want to have fun in their swimming pool weaving baskets. But the pro is well beyond that. They've gone beyond hobbyist and they are now like trying to better their skills, trying to get known in the world as a premier underwater basket weaver. Very different audiences with very different needs and very different pain points. And you can't write to both of them. Number 3, clarity filters out the wrong clients. Now, for example, if you were a person who taught pro underwater basket weavers, you don't want to attract the hobbyist. It's not that there's anything wrong with hobbyists. That's just not your ideal client. So you do not want to attract them with your book. So when your book is clear on its who, it's going to attract the right readers. And this works both in nonfiction and fiction as well. Because let's say you're writing for the type of reader who wants to read Tolkien. Well, if you throw in a bunch of UFOs, you might not get the right readers. That said, if you're writing a UFO book and you throw in a bunch of wizards, probably not good either. Now, I'm not saying you can't blend genres. People do it all the time, but they do it strategically in a very specific way. I can't think of the author I'm thinking of, and I love the covers. Michael Whelan does the covers to the books. It's a trilogy. I will pop up pictures of the book covers right here so you know what I'm talking about, but I can't remember what they're called at all. But basically, it's a fantasy book set on another planet with aliens. It's really cool. It's a trilogy. If you haven't read it yet, read it. I will show them right about here. Oh my gosh, my brain's a sieve. Anyway, ah, so if you're enjoying this content so far, you may want to join me in the Backstage Blend. You can get there by going to this QR code, put your phone at this QR code. It'll take you right to buymeacoffee.com/Carma Spence. There you go. Buymeacoffee.com/Carma Spence. Why can't I get my fingers even? That's weird. Anyway, in the Backstage Blend, I put audio versions of this podcast. I also drop audio notes every once in a while. I go into how different news that affects authors, and I will pop in resources once in a while too. And you can join me for just $5 a month. That is one fancy latte a month. Give up one coffee, get me. Anyway, let's move on to the next tip. Number 4, you can still have range after you anchor. So again, going back to our underwater basket weavers, you've got the pros, you've got the hobbyists. Focus on one of them and then be broad for them alone. So for example, I have a book called Public Speaking Superpowers. And I wrote it for the beginner. So I'm thinking my ideal audience might be high schoolers who are homeschooling. It could also probably work in actual public schools, probably first year of college, or older people who have finally decided, I want to speak to kind of grow my business, but I really don't know what I'm doing. It's a basic public speaking 101 course in a book with fun superheroes because, why not? It makes it fun. So I was very clear that that was my audience. So the content I wrote is beginner, it's basic, it covers all the things that a beginner needs to know. And as a bonus at the end, I give them, if this sparked something and you want to go to the next step, here's a little bit of information about what that next step is and how you can get there. And that wasn't even working with me. That was just next level speaking. So if I had been writing for people who were seasoned speakers, I would have written a completely different book. But that's not who I was writing for. So knowing your who helps you put the right content in. And number 5, if you don't choose, the market will. And chances are they're not going to choose what you would have chosen. They're going to choose wrong, wrong for you. So authors who let the algorithm define who their who is end up getting lots of dissatisfied readers. Honestly, that's what happens. So you need to be clear on your who. So you write the right book for that who, and then you message the book for that who, so that that who finds you. This is the end of what I've got for you today. Please stay tuned to the bloopers because I will have bloopers at the end. This is Carma Spence saying, oh, come back on Friday when I will be inspired by Beauty and the Beast. This is Carma Spence saying, ciao.
Bloopers!
There you go. Oh, I forgot to hook up my microphone. I'll be back. Have you ever had one of those mornings where you're so tired you forget to hook in your microphone? Oh my goodness. And I know that a lot of gurus who help people write books and get them out in the world, excuse me, my Velcro is wrong. Um, it's gonna be so full of bloopers. Oh my gosh. Well, let's start over again.